Hello, everyone. Hope you are doing well. Me, I've had better days. That's for doggone sure. So the reason for this and the multi parts to it. Matter of fact, I gotta put. Oh, I did put part 2 in this. I'm looking right at it. We're gonna have a couple of parts, and then what I'm trying to do is cover the basics. And the reasons that we're doing it this way is so that you understand the very basic mechanics and how that and believe me, get a hold of Oscar, email him if you want to be a part of the latest Kickstarter, the 1.5. I'm sure he will open it up and be more than happy to sell you a copy of this. Matter of fact, I got to get one myself, the 1.5. And all the great stuff that it's going to have. Now, last time we talked about actions. We talked about some combat. We talked about group, the realism of this game and how much there is to it. There's a lot to this, and that's why we break this into small parts so you can digest it. And I hope I'm coming across clear with everything that we're doing here. What we're going to do is, I'm just waiting to get this off. I go this Wednesday. I'm praying it comes off. Everybody's telling me I'll have another 2 weeks. I hope not, because this has really set me back. That'll be 6 weeks in this stupid thing, and it's hard enough trying to do things with just one arm, especially when you're left-handed. And, I have to rely on my right. Today, we're going to be talking a little bit about the quest book. Some of the things that I forgot to talk about in combat. Okay, really making this simple, because ultimately what I want to do is I want to show you how easy without adding all the bigger rules, because we're going to save that for when this comes off, and then I'm able to get with Oscar, and he's going to really talk about the deep embedded rules in this. I'm going to oh, excuse me, it's live. Excuse me. Don't do it. Okay. It's live. And it's my channel, so when do you sneeze? My channel. And then we're going to come together when we get this off. We're going to come together with Oscar, and we are going to talk about the deeper rules. Okay? So that you're able to put everything that we're talking about together. Okay? Now, what I want to do is I want to have a couple of parts of the basic, and then we are going to go on a basic adventure. And then when this comes off, we will go with Oscar. And I really want to make something that is not going to be 17 hours long or 2.5 hours long, and you sit there scratching your head. What I want to do, thank you, E. Connolly, is make it so it's simple. You can play it right out of the box, and then slowly add things as you go. All right, so it's not overwhelming. And if you saw the last video, we made it very simple and concise. We're going to do the same thing today when we talk about magic, some of the quests, and some of the other things. And there's a lot to cover. So when you watch that and you put this together, and then you put the next probably video or 2 together, I think 4 parts will really get us all the basics. I think you'll be ready to go. So if you have this sitting on your shelf and you are frustrated, fear not. I am here to help and here to put it away. Now, guys, please forgive me. I am not going to pay attention to the chat that much. I will mention things when I can. The whole point of this is to make a very strong video that keeps you entertained, hopefully, keeps you engaged. All right, and has information all the way throughout. Okay, that when you watch it, there's not, oh God, do I have to keep sitting through this guy? I want to keep it relatively short, under an hour, and really give some information so that when you see it, it clicks. I think that's pretty fair. All right, so today we're going to be talking about magic and a few other things, and we're going to go down to our camera here. As you can see here, I do have a couple tiles here. Now, last time when we were together, we talked about how important, keeping coherency. Hey Scott, how you doing? Thank you. I'm hanging in there. We're hoping to get better soon. So here we would have our fighter. Okay, remember everybody has to stay within a certain you have to be a cohesive group. Excuse me. Let me put my glasses on and wheel a little forward here. Okay. Now today we're going to be focusing in on our mage here. Okay. And who else did I pull out here? So we have our fighter, we have our mage, and then of course we have our archer. Okay. Now some of the neat things. Remember what we talked about. That if you decide to take your turn, because you get one action and one movement, one action. Okay. So as you can't go running off, because if you do, you're going to trigger traps. But we're not going to talk about the dark player, even though there's something I want to show you in a little while, because we covered the dark player quite a bit. We covered the AI version of it. But I want to show you that when you play the dark player, how you are going to... it's one versus many, and I know a lot of people go, oh, well, the flow of the game really depends on the person playing the dark player. No, my friends. This game is very, very, very smart, and it's ahead of its time. Okay? And I mean that with the utmost belief and everything that I feel about it. Okay? It helps the dark player to take things in a certain direction, but it helps them tell a story and keep things balanced. And that's what the game is. The game is very realistic. You can't go, oh, well, I'm going to go 5 spits. What guy is going to run out of his group? Okay, unless he's incredibly stupid or Buzz Lightyear, and leave the rest of his group behind and walk into a room like that. The game makes you pay for mistakes like that, and makes you play together a lot more. So everybody's engaged. You don't come out of it, whether you're playing solo or you're playing with a group, with each person playing a person. Okay? Again, what this game does is keep you engaged. So it's not like, it's the fighter's turn, I'm going to go get a soda. No, you better sit there, because anything can happen at that moment. Now we're going to focus in on our mage today, because magic is really a powerful component of this. Okay? Magic, as powerful as it is as deadly as it can be. So having control of it, understanding it, using it, and pray that it doesn't backfire on you, because it can. And that's what really makes this. It's not like, oh, well, I got 5 fireballs. And yeah, if I hit that with a fireball, hit that with another fireball. No, my friends. That's not how it works. Okay, you have 96 magic cards here. Okay, there is, of course, light, which is, light, music, runic for our runic masters. I'm going to do the best I can show you this with one arm. So please bear with me. And blessings. Okay, you also have the elementals. You're going to have earth, air, fire, wind. Is it wind? Oh, no, water. Excuse me. Earth, water, fire, air. All these elementals, as I'm trying to do this with one hand, and all these spell types of cards. But there's also this darkness here. Okay? Necromancy, underworld, witchcraft, which could be used for good, but also used for evil. Okay? So when you're setting up a villain, they're going to be able to grab some of this, and they're going to be able to do certain things. And we're going to talk about this. I decided to add this part into it because I really want to talk about how this all is going to come together and really bring this enriched and impassioned dungeon crawl, where you're looking at these 3 tiles, but you don't realize that just going this far is an adventure into itself. It's not this big, huge thing. Okay, we could do this in an hour. No. you need to do things smart, constructively, and tell a story along the way where you can stop at any time. And that's what this game does. This game tells you this incredible, emotional, fantastic story. And it's how you create it. And it's not where you have a module where you do have some things that you can use in the quest book, but you can tell your own story. And make it where you don't know your own story. And I'll show you that soon. I know I bounce around a little bit. Now, let's talk a little bit about magic as itself. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our very lovely mage here, okay? And we're going to put her in a room. All right, we're going to take our heroes off. And oh no, there's a Lich Lord. And it's just her v him, right? Okay. So we're going to call her Sylvia. All right. And listen, we're going to get into character creation, but the beauty of this fantastic experience is that you come with a ton, and I do mean a ton, of already pre-made characters. So if character creation is not your thing, don't worry. There's enough flexibility. You can do just about anything that you want to do. Okay? Oh, excuse me. So anyways, everything is run off your intelligence. Now, if you remember what I told you, okay, one of the best things about this fantastic experience is that everything is run off just 2d6. It's as simple as that. And I got to grab a couple out here. All right. And let me just grab 2 more. You think I'd be prepared, right? Now, for our mages, mana is the key, okay? And that's what these tokens are here, okay? This is mana. At the start of every adventure, okay, yeah, pretty much every adventure, okay? As you can see here, this is a number that you are going to get. But for every spell that you have, you can get, okay, you get 4 random spells, which are going to give you 8 mana. 2 mana per spell. There are also bonuses and different potions and things that'll give you additional mana. But you can never have more mana than 3 times the amount of your intelligence. Okay? So you can have 30 spells, okay? You can learn 30 spells. You could learn 30 spells. But it doesn't mean that you get to pick from, you can pick from those spells. But it doesn't mean that you're going to be able to use all the spells. Okay? Because you're only going to have a certain amount of mana. Okay? And how you are going to attribute that and gain that, there are potions and scrolls and things like that that are going to help replenish it. Okay? Let's go one further. Okay? And I'm going to show you how this all works. And I really, this is so smart and yet so simple. And so fantastic, and yet so deadly. Let's not forget that. Very, very deadly. All right. So, for instance, we're gonna take some spells here, and let's just find one here. Find a bunch here. Okay. Let's go with fire today. Okay. And the card gives you a bunch of spells for that particular person. Oh God, just bear with me, please. This is not the easiest thing to do. So we've got 5. We've got a bunch of fire spells here, okay? And she decides that she is going to go down with a whole bunch of fire spells, okay? Now I believe that, and I may be wrong, but you, additional to this number, you get 2 for each spell. 2 for each spell that you take. Now, for instance. Water, take 4 random spells, okay? And then you're going to have a whole bunch of different things, magic herbs and stuff like that, mana potions. You're going to want to use mana potions because as you use those potions, your mana is going to go down. And you're going to have this mana on this card, okay? Let's move our characters over a little bit here so we can explain this properly. Okay, so now you're going to have all these things. There are going to be certain things that you're going to be equipped with that are going to give you bonuses that hopefully that are going to make you more successful to cast spells. But the main thing is that you're going to cast, and it's going to tell you how much it's going to cost you right there. Now that's going to cost 1 mana to cast. It also tells you what kind of spell it is. Okay, the range of it. Okay, let me make sure that I get all this right. Okay, and because I got lost there for a second. Okay, learning cost. Okay, when you want to learn a new spell, that's how much it's going to cost. This over here, okay, this little mark here, and I'm going to bring this up again, yet again. Okay, and what I should do is probably make this a little closer for you guys. All right, hold on. Why don't we do that, huh? This is live, I know. Bear with it. Bear with it, please. I want to make sure. I just want to make sure that you see what I'm talking about. We have another view here, so we're good here. All right, there we go. All right, now I can talk a little bit about this. Okay, so this is the range. Okay, now I'm going to talk a little bit about range because it's going to include some range combat that I didn't cover in the last video. This is the cost. This is, as you're going through the dungeon and getting treasure cards and earning cash, you can use that cash to buy additional spells. That's going to help you learn things. This here is a time effect. Okay? So when you cast a spell, okay, and it is successful, number one, it's going to cost you mana off your card. Okay? Number two, your highest dice. So for instance, our intelligence is a 5 here. Okay? Let me move this mana out of the way, folks. So she's going to cast this. Let's find something. Choose a friendly character. Well, that's not a friendly character right there. Okay, here we go. But okay, well, we're going to talk about that in a second. We're going to let's just go with flaming weapon, okay? And let's pretend our good friend the paladin is here, okay? Off to the side, ready to finish off this necromancer, but needs a little help, okay? So this flaming sword is going to do +2 fire damage dice if we're able to cast it on a friendly character, okay? So what we want to do is be able to cast this onto our friendly character. Well, here's the great thing about it, okay? Here's how long it'll last, okay? Now, how do you do that? Now, we're going to try to cast it for 1 mana. So we would use 1 mana, and we would put this on here. Okay, then we would roll, and we would take our intelligence, which is 5, and add it to these dice. Okay, so for instance, boom. All right, 7 plus 5 is 13. Great, right? We did it. We were able to cast it. Now, what we do is we take the highest die, and that's how many turns this is going to last. So we're going to leave that die right there, or we could take another die, and if you have extra die, and you can leave it on there, and that's how many turns this weapon is going to be flamed. All right, so if we're in this big battle with this necromancer, all right, we're going to be able to do that. Now, there's a couple other things that we want to talk about here. All right, we were able to cast that, and say it goes down and it's finally gone, and we're fighting some more baddies. Well, yeah, you can cast this again, but you can only cast the same spell 3 times in an adventure. Now, there are cards and there are things that'll take and be able to pull that out, but you have to plan your spells out, when to use them and when not to use them. Okay? And that, my friends, is some of the fantastic realism that comes in on this fantastic experience. What happens here is it sets some realism. So you're not sitting there with a fireball going, oh, well, I'll just use my fireball the whole adventure. You have to plan out how you are going to use your spells. And you've got to be very, very smart about it. This is not something that you can just take and just wing it. This is where the realism and the role-playing comes, and being smart. Now, let's go a little farther, shall we? Okay, let's go. All right. We're going to go and we're going to take our paladin out of here, okay? And what we're going to do is we're going to throw in here a fireball. Okay? So, here's a couple more things that we want to take a look at. Okay? First of all, here is range. 12 squares. So you can hit him 12 squares. Got him in range, not a problem. Our cost, okay? 1 mana. Not a bad thing, okay? And then the area that it'll affect, okay? It's right on the square. Boom. You got to hit the target. Choose a target. Caster casts the fireball, causes 5 damage dice. Now listen. We know how our armor work and all that thing. So when we roll 5 dice, it's how many hits that we're going to do against that. Okay. All right. Can they survive it? Well, here's the beautiful part about this. Okay. Nothing is guaranteed in this game. Nothing is guaranteed in this game. All right. So here you have a situation where, all right, I'm going to cast this fireball. All right, we're going to pay the mana cost, and we're going to roll. All right, 5. Okay, all right. Well, we got 7. Well, guess what? If we're playing against a sorcerer, or if there's a sorcerer in the group, and for instance, this chieftain was here, and he's going to be the victim of it. Okay, let's just use it that way. Okay, she's trying to fireball him. Well, the wizard within their group, okay, say they have a group of monsters and you have a wizard, can try to dispel this just as much as if he tried to target one of our guys, okay, and wanted to hit our archer. We have a chance to dispel it. We're going to take our intelligence and we are going to roll, okay? Well, we rolled perfectly. We rolled an 8. He rolled a 7 if he was trying to throw the fireball at us. We were able to dispel that. Okay? So now, by dispelling it, you don't hit. You don't waste the mana on it. It stays with you. But the spell was ineffective. The attack that you had tried has failed. Okay? So having a wizard, and remember what this game does, okay? This game makes you play as a group, okay? There are certain things that you can do. Now, because, and we're going to take this out of here. Now, say we decided to throw our fireball at the other mage here, okay? And unfortunately, we have a blunder, okay? Which is not the best thing that you can hope for, okay? Because here's what happens. On a blunder, the spell is fizzled and is going to turn on you. What happens is now you are going to take 5 dice of damage, okay? And let's face it, okay, especially looking at a lot of these sorcerers, they only have a health of 4. So not only do you take the chance of getting, mortally wounded and killed, okay? You should have been mortally wounded and killed. Well, here's the thing. If you happen to survive it, you are stunned. So because everything kind of flashed on you, there is a chance that it'll go right. Dispelled. When the spell is cast successfully, it can be dispelled. Successful dispelling. Oh, it does. I'm sorry. I'm wrong. I said that wrong. If it is successfully dispelled, okay, it consumes the mana. So you would put the mana and consider that a use, okay? But it fizzled. I'm sorry. I told you the wrong thing. I was thinking if you went to cast the spell and you fail. So say, for instance, we rolled that, okay? Add +5. It doesn't go over 10. we were going to try to do that again, and it doesn't go over 10, you do get that mana back because you mumbled something, it just didn't work. If it is successfully dispelled, it's going to cost you the mana. So if another wizard dispels you, there you go. I'm sorry. And you're lucky I looked up. But like I said, I'm going to make mistakes in this, and we will fix them as I rewatch them. All right, so that's how that goes. I'm really sorry for that. So that makes more sense. All right, so again, you take the chance that if you roll those double ones, there's going to be a problem. But if you roll double successes, which give you additional dice on top of that, okay, this is an automatic success. It doesn't matter if he rolls the same thing, okay, you automatically success and you cannot be dispelled, okay, no matter what. All right, now there's a few things that can get in your way, folks. Okay, we have our wizard here. Well, let's say our wizard here. Let's take our wizard off, okay? And we have this little goblin that's a real pain in the neck. All right, and right here we have that crate, okay? Or let's put him here. Let's put the crate here. Let's move our hero here. Line of sight. Okay, if we can draw a line from here to here, we're able to see him, but there is going to be a penalty. Okay, for instance, because of his size, that is going to be considered a -2 on your die roll. Okay, so what's going to happen is this is going to be considered cover. Now, if we, for instance, have the skeleton and this table's here, it's not high enough. It's only going to be a -1. Okay, so -1 to our die roll for casting. Some spells require that you have complete line of sight. Now there's also, you can bring up some familiars. Oh geez, I don't think I have one of these, but I will make sure that we do this. Hold on here. So I want to show you guys a little bit further here. So we're going to put our fire spells away, and we're going to go to Necromancy. Fire. Yeah, that goes there. Because as you know, you can raise the dead. All right. Now, this is considered a superior spell. And why is it a superior spell? Well, because of its cost. Okay? It's going to cost you 2 mana. Okay? All right? 2 mana. Now, here, caster can spawn 1d3 skeletons. So, our boy here decides to, because this is an area control 3, and how many things? He has to beat a 5 here, okay? So he's going to roll. Yeah, no problem. Now, here's the beauty of it, okay? He is going to be able to get him for 6 turns. Remember, we picked this. We picked the highest die, okay? And that is how many turns those skeletons are going to be there. How many skeletons is he going to get? He's going to get 1, because I rolled 1d3. 1, 2 is 1. 3, 4 is 2, and then 5. 5, 6 is 3. So perfectly, I had 1 skeleton ready. He picks an area, and then boom, here comes the skeleton. He's going to be here for 6 whole turns. Okay, so that's some of the spells. That is a superior spell. Of course, we could have tried to, especially since he rolled a 9. I wonder if we could dispel it. Could we dispel it? No, absolute, utter chaotic fail. And now, not only do we have to deal with him, we have to deal with he had raised the dead. Now, yeah, of course, there are some spells here that are going to be absolutely brutal. Okay? On the bad side. But on the light side, if one of our characters die, we do have a chance to raise the dead and bring people back to life. We have all kinds of wonderful light spells. The variance of spells is really just absolutely fantastic, and what it does for this fantastic and unbelievable experience. A spellcaster becomes very, very important in your group, as important as your fighter, and of course as important as your thief, who we'll be covering in another episode, and of course your archer. Remember, range combat. Range combat is making sure that you keep things at a distance, but having support of a good wizard and a good fighter and a good balanced group is going to help you get through some of these very, very tough, wonderful experiences that you're going to do. Now, let's just pull this back a little bit and let's just talk about some things that I want to add in here. Now, as you can see, pretty much simple, but there's, of course, a lot more to it, and you can get very, very in depth in what you have here and how you go about this. Okay, I can promise you, you can make it as hard as you want, okay, and as complicated as you want, or you can make it as simple as you want. That's the beauty of this phenomenal game, is how it goes about, and it makes it so you could play it simple, you could play it short, as short as you possibly can, and as strategic as you want. The main core of this game keeps things very, very strategic and very, very smart. And another thing, and I want to go to this other camera here, is I want to show you, and I think it's really important to make sure that you guys see this, is that you have these cards that are going to help you through how different things go. A new spell may be cast while another spell, that's another thing. If you have one spell cast, consider this here, okay? We cast and we brought to life this skeleton. But if he wanted to cast another spell, okay, he can do that, but he has to do it at a minus penalty to his intelligence. Okay? Let's see. Oh, we talked about cover. We talked about blunders. Maximum power. Double critical results. Spells. Well, we talked about dispelling. We talked about superior spells. Permanent spells. Remember, we just talked about that. That's a permanent spell that'll last for... There cannot be two permanent spells active at the same time. So if we wanted to and tried to raise more undead, we couldn't do that off the bat. And of course, spell casting, if fails, mana is not spent. Maximum of 3 casts per spell. You use up those spells unless you find something that can help you pull that out. So you got to be very strategic in what you do with your spells and how you perform and bring things to life. Now, there was one thing I forgot to talk about in combat, and I want to bring that up here. When we're attacking, if he had a two-handed weapon and then he had the ability to attack for 3 attacks, okay, that is the maximum that you can ever do. Okay, 1 attack, of course, is normal, and then if you have 2 swords in your hand, you would get 2 attacks, and sometimes there is some special cards that will give you a +2 attack. You can never attack more than 3 times in a single turn, which I think is fantastic, because there are sometimes you can bend things a little bit. No, they just draw. It doesn't matter what the cards are, okay, or what they say or how they say it. The maximum attacks that you can ever have in a turn is 3 attacks. And I think that makes it smart, and it keeps combat very, very tight. Another thing I want to show you, and we're going to come up and we're going to take a look at some of the other things here. Right now we just covered in 36 minutes the basics of magic use and how simple it is and all the wonderful things that it does and how smart it is. Simple, elegant, yet very, very, immersive. Playing a magic user, I was never a guy that wanted to play the magic user, but after seeing how these rules work and how smart it is and how strategic you have to be, I really, really, I think it's just it's really something special, as well as every other character. How you use familiars or mercenaries, depending on how you want to put your group together, especially if you're playing by yourself. This game works very, very well solo, but the one versus many isn't like every other one versus many. And we'll cover that in another episode, even though I want to show you a couple things. I'm going to move some things out of the way, and we're going to try to put this book out here. Now, the first thing I want to show you before we start really... let's go with the book first, all right? Because I want to show you some of the things. There's a great imagination here that really stands out. I'm trying to do this one hand, so bear with me, folks. And the campaign, which we'll get more into, but I really kind of want to show you this, but I also want to show you some things that we have planned, how we're going to go about making our own adventure, and it's going to be completely random. All right, I'm not going to know what's happened, but we're going to react to what happens to us and how we go through. Playing against the dark player AI. Okay? But being the dark player, you don't feel separated or that, I'm going to try to drill everybody. There's a whole beauty that goes into that, too. So let's go up top here. Oh, there we go. One of the things that really stands out is that it comes with this book here. Special quest book for heroes. Okay? And this tells a fantastic story. For this one, it's about a rogue, okay, and the things that you have to go through and how you set it up and how you play this out. And there's stories for each particular hero that as you can see, there's not a lot of tiles involved, and yet there's just this element. This falls into a lot of if you have how can I put this? There is just this where you can just go on these adventures. They're already pre-made for you, kind of like every other one, but again, there's a lot of things that go to this as you are taking all these different characters, and it helps you learn how to play these characters, these different types of heroes, whether it's a archer, a thief, a warrior, a mystic. Here you have a few, sneaky goblins. This one here specifically for our magic user here that we were looking at, which is underneath everything. I'm sorry that I can't show you. Really does things very, very well, and this comes with, of course, this fantastic game. You have this incredible campaign book that is. I started looking through a little bit, and some of the things that this does is very, very smart because it gives you that element of, I don't know. Okay? Yeah, okay, there's all this going on, but how you get from point A to this point, we know what the end game is and what we're trying to accomplish, but the things that you run into along the way, okay? We know that our final boss is going to be the Gorgon. But what else is going to be in here that's going to make our life completely miserable along the encounter? Trust me. The dark player is going to really test you, and when you think you're built for something, you really aren't. Okay, you're really not. Okay, I'm not even going to address. Like I said, I'm not going to interrupt things. Now, the other thing is, if you just took and you wanted to create your own type of thing, okay, and you decided to take one of these cards and just make it say, you know something, I'm going to go through here, and I don't know what I'm going to run into along the way, but I know that in this room, I'm going to take one of these special element cards, and I'm going to play against this card. And then when you turn over the card, it could be something, an orc brothel. Now, would you expect going through with your heroes, all of a sudden it's an orc brothel? The room is an orc brothel. If one of you feel like having some fun, move adjacent to one of the beds, then roll 1d6 and check the following chart. You are nauseated and run away from the brothel as if chased by the devil himself. You get the condition diseased. So instead, you can have all these type of things in these different rooms and negotiate these rooms going through. It builds this complete element of surprise because there's all types of things. Maybe you decide to, well, you know, sometime I'm going to random encounter something, and you're going to run into already pre-made characters, okay, that are going to do absolutely unbelievable. Let me go to the other camera here. They're absolutely going to do unbelievable things to you, okay? For instance, Rizabal, okay, who I saw in here, and you can use him as a hero, or guess what? He's a complete villain, and there's a whole thing to dealing with him and setting him up that you can deal with. Or you can, you know, as you're, okay, crystal vein. We went in here and there's nothing but crystals. There's certain things that we can find. Maybe we can find certain things in this room. Okay? This here, the orc brothel. Oh, man. Not good. Okay? Or here, Dwarf Tavern. You can run into a Dwarf Tavern. So you can tell your own adventure and then decide on how you want, you know, have event cards on top of these rooms being all this different things. It really is. It really is a game that you can tell your own adventure. Okay? It's a sandbox. And it's probably one of the best sandbox games I've ever seen. And it takes a while to really grasp a little bit. And that's why we're trying to make these videos, so that you have a feel and a grasp for this. And that's why, you know, we're going to have like 4 1-hour videos to make sure that we have all the simple mechanics down and things. Maybe 3. And then the 4th one, we're going to put all this together, and we're going to go through a nice short adventure, and you get a real good feel of what oh, excuse me. It's been a tough day for me. Here's a card that you can pull out, and I'm going to go back to this other view here. Okay, a gelatinous cube. Okay, now you have to deal with that thing. Okay, if you walk into a room, or maybe you don't deal with it. I don't know. You know, it really depends. There's all kinds of different things that are you're going to go into a fighting pit, maybe. Magic mirror, which has all kinds of bad things that can happen to it. Again, I'm sorry. I wish I can show you. Thank you so much. Really tempted to buy the 2nd edition eBay when it publishes after these live plays. Great job, Ron. Oh, you're welcome, Brian. That's what I'm here for. There's a lot to this that you know, it has gotten a bad rap by some people, and that's because they do not possess the time to invest in it. They have short-term memory, or short, a short attention span, which is common nowadays. But if you get out of this what you invest in it, it's as simple as that. Okay? You can make it as hard as you want. You can make it as easy as you want. It's for you to do. The simple concepts. So far, we've put together movement. We've talked about our actions. And now we've added magic in. Now we're going to we're going to take a little twisted turn after this, okay, in our next video, and really bring to you a different view of things. Now, I want to show something because we've covered a lot about the AI and how smart the AI dark player is. But one of the things that you get here is this beautiful, absolutely fantastic. If you decide to be the dark player, it comes with this screen here that brings you so much. And I'm going to show you what's on the inside here. Forgive me, my friends. Let's go here, and I'll just kind of talk about it a little bit up top. Let's see if we can fit it in up top here. Oh, yeah, there we go. And sorry, guys, crunch. Gives you everything that you need. And you can see it's pretty wide. It gives you all the symbols that you need. Where's my glasses so I can actually read to you what it has. You know, we haven't covered a lot of things. We want to talk about the dark player, which is over here, hero setup here. That's what you don't see here. There we go. Attributes and tests are up there. Remember, on those cards here, okay, when you play a character, I have a giant spider out in case I was going to go giant spider, and thank you for the bless yous, folks. It's going to tell you everything that you need and how these are the numbers that you need for tests, okay, and movement and so forth and so on. A thing that we haven't talked about is heights and sizes and how those come into effect. Okay, achievements as you're playing things out, those are critical. We'll get to them. Breaking down the turn, so making sure keeping the players that you are playing with, okay, on point. All the things that you need to know about movement. Now, here's a lot of things that we have not talked about in movement because this is more the advanced stuff that I really want to save when Oscar's here. Deep water swimming, difficult terrain, leaping, flying, you know, jumping over a crevice. That's where it gets really in depth. We will handle that advanced action, okay, with Oscar when we get a chance. All the actions, there's a lot. Climbing out of pits, great jumps, running. We haven't talked about all that stuff. Deactivating traps, solving riddles, okay? Riddles. This game has riddles, okay? Corpses, identifying magic power. There's a lot, okay, that we're going to add to this as we go. Quick actions. Remember, movement, action, free quick action. Okay? Now, what's a free quick action? Let's talk about that. Picking up and dropping an object, activating a lever, opening and closing a door, giving access to area already explored, equipping objects, drinking of potions are considered free action. Talks about our combat, which we covered. Range, that we covered. Melee, that we covered. We're going to come back to range and melee in the next video. Magic, which we just spent the last hour doing. All the icons on the cards so you understand what's going. So if you're not sure about something, you can answer a question. All this right there for you. All this right there for you. Okay? Attacker size with respect to the defender. A much larger one. Normal if you get hit. A knockdown. You know, double crits. You know, if you're fighting a much smaller and you get some kinds of extra effects. Sometimes there's extra effects if you hit something depending on size. So now size comes into it, which something is that we will be covering as part of the damage and conditions. All right, where are we at? 50 minutes? Not bad. Not bad. Now I'll pay attention to the chat. I really apologize. You know I'm very interactive. And then, of course, for the player, you have all these wonderful cards that really kind of spell things out for you. This game is absolutely brilliant. And I know I take a few minutes to try to really hit that home with a lot of you. Okay? Is that take a chance and discover this game. This is unlike anything that you ever go. I think it's going to be incredibly fun to sit in and watch the playthroughs. Well, I hope I can make them fun, Godzilla lover. Somebody said something earlier, and yeah, I probably. Let me see. I just want to check here. I want to make sure that I got everybody, Brian. Really tempted. Okay, he said that, but Nafaris Cole. Doesn't it say 1d3 plus 1? Well, I was trying to keep it simple. Okay? We're not going to get into semantics here. I wanted to make sure that it was easy to understand. And, yeah, I could have had plus 1, but guess what? I only had one skeleton there, so I was praying that I only rolled a 1. All right. Here you go. Did I miss anything else? No. Yeah, those Hawks threw a beating, but... we still got a long way to go. Long way to go. I don't get too excited about one win. That's for sure. I so want this now, says Zeblik. Well, good. All right. So we really went over this. I hope we did a good job. We made it nice and simple, and we were able to show you some examples and make it smart so you understand it. So now you start putting this all together, and that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to put this all together, and we're going to do a nice simplified version of this. Coming up soon. Probably over the Christmas holiday, hopefully, when I get this off. Please let it be Wednesday. I've got so much painting and everything to catch up with. But I wanted you to get a feel of how important each individual member of a group is. Okay? And that is what does this. Now, there's a whole other aspect of this game that we haven't even got into that we will get into. But again, we have another video in between that. And you can use the standees. You can use your own miniatures. You can use different tiles. It doesn't matter. You have the basis of everything that you need in these books. These books are like gold. Okay? But they also give you a lot of stuff. I've never seen a game that was been able to stuff as much as it has into one box as this particular game. And all the things that it does correctly. And all the things that it does beautifully. Because it gives you a chance to open this up, create what you want to create, and formulate your party and try to interact as a team as you need to be. You have one person that gets lazy, it's going to cost each and every one of you. What a fantastic game. What a fantastic experience. And I look forward to doing even more videos with you guys as we go forward and explore the enormous world of Dungeon Universalis. I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope you'll smash that like button. It really means a lot to me that we are able to do things positively. And if you're not subscribed, stick around. We do a lot of things. We have a very busy week this week. We have a lot of things that we're going to show you, and I think you guys are going to be very excited as to some of the things that we're going to be covering over the next 2 weeks. We're going to be finishing up our Dark Souls this week. We're going to be taking a look at Dark Ritual this week. We're also... when it gets here next week, hopefully before Christmas, we have the new Aliens game and everything that comes with it. That'll be here early next week. Yes, the glorious time of being a Marine in Aliens. Good luck surviving against them. We'll also be doing some painting, hopefully, if we get this off. We'll be painting the new Aliens game and showing you how to do a simple and quick way to get that game up and running and to your table very quickly. You guys are the best. I love you very, very much. Your support is enormous and heartwarming through this very difficult time that we've been having. And I know that you guys are having a tough time as well. And just know that you can always turn on and have a safe place to go here at Rob's Tabletop World. Not one that I sit here and I make it about me. I'm not going to say, oh, what's my game of the year? What game do I think is going to be the game that was most surprising to me and stuff like that? Because my opinion doesn't matter. It's what we all think together and that we are able to experience together. And that's what makes this channel. It's not about me, it's about us. And that's the way it's always going to be. You're getting the IT game. The IT game. So clarify that, because I was going out on a great, I had a great finish here. And you made me stop. You're getting the IT game. Melanie, you are awesome, Rob. Well, you are awesome, Melanie. Don't forget that. All of you are awesome, from Godzilla Lover to Brian to Zeblik and Gameline, who Gameline sent us. We were talking about, we played City of Kings, and we were talking about getting Isle of Cats. And I want to thank, personally, Gameline, who I haven't seen for a while, I hope he's okay, who sent us Isle of Cats, which we will, that we will be showing off. Sorry. No, you're fine. I'm only kidding you. I go into some impassioned speech. Then I get knocked off track here. Train derailed. Yeah, you have to expect that here at Rob's Tabletop World. You are not going to get this clean, polished thing that you expect. Expect the train to come off the tracks, and it will at some point. Whether I'm sneezing, trying to do things with one hand, dropping things, the dog's barking, the wife, the queen complaining that I'm me, all those wonderful things. Let's see. Brain fart. The Thing board game. Not the Thing board game, but Aliens. I haven't seen the Thing board game. Is it out? Got here late. We'll watch later. Neil Young. Who doesn't like Neil Young? I like Neil Young. I like this Neil Young too. Yeah, just watch it back. We cover a lot of material here, Neil, and hopefully you can get something out of it. And that's the most important thing, is that we tried to give you something that you can get out of it. Whew. Now you see, we made this go all the way to 1 hour, which we were trying to do anyways. All right? Good job. Thank you, Zeblik. See? You get a little credit here. I will check it out, Zeblik, definitely. There's a link there at BoardGameGeek.com. I will definitely click that and check that out later when I get off here. I'm going to try to clean all this up, because we got a lot of stuff to do tomorrow, folks. A lot of stuff to do tomorrow. It's going to be a very exciting day tomorrow afternoon. As we're going to be taking a look at something very, very cool that last minute I just said, yeah, let me drop the cash on. So, no pre-orders. I'm a little excited. Excited when I heard Aliens. Gotcha. Sadly, I'm not the Neil Young. No, but you are Neil Young, so you have a purpose here on our channel. We love to have every one of you Neil Youngs on this channel, and it doesn't matter who you are. Doesn't matter who you are, as long as you're part of the group here, part of the movement, and all the things that we try to accomplish. Okay, that's it for me, folks. I hope this was helpful, and until next time, it is your old pal Rob saying we will see you very, very, very soon. Tomorrow I'm working at 2 a.m. Well, I may be doing it later, Melanie. We'll see. Things look forward to. Excellent as always from Rob's Tabletop World, says the wonderful Godzilla Lover. Thank you both. Thank you, Melanie. Thank you, Zeblik. Thank you, Neil, and everybody else that watched. Have a great day, and until next time, it's your old pal Rob saying, and we'll see you soon. Be good to each other. Be good to each other.